Good morning. It's Kirsten Liebelt. How are you guys? Wednesday morning. No, it's Thursday. Oh my gosh, it's Thursday morning. It's Thursday. I don't want to lose my days. Good morning, Instagram. Good to see you. Good to see you. I think I'm on. Let's see here. It looks like Instagram is being weird. It's not going on yet. So, good morning, you guys. Welcome in. Good to see you. It's Thursday morning. How is everybody doing? Good morning, Instagram. There we go. Now it pops on. Weird. That was strange today. Anyway, okay. How is everybody doing? My TikTok's being weird too today. It's not letting me do my normal thing. That's okay. It's good to see you guys. I've been able to reconnect with so many of you in my messages, and that has just been really fun. Like everybody takes a little bit of like a half of a second in the summertime to kind of recalibrate their universe. And so now it's been so fun. Hi, Frantic Cheryl is back. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you? You're not frantic. You're like fabulous. How is that, Cheryl? Very, very good. Let's see. What is our housekeeping for today? If you're on the replay, make sure that you let me know you're on the replay, and let me know where you're coming in from. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. That's awesome. And also, okay, so two things. Cheryl made me think of this. So, LOL. Yes. Frantically fabulous. That's what you are. If the glucose product is out of stock in your state, which I know that it is in Colorado. Colorado, I don't know what the deal is with Colorado. And anyway, it doesn't matter. Let me know, because I have it in stock in my home, and I will do Venmo and then ship it out to you. Okay. So don't go without. Don't go without. Do you hear me? This is why I stock it. Okay. And so the second thing is, yesterday I talked a little bit about the gut primer that just launched yesterday. And so a few of you are picking that up because I am offering I need testimonials. Just like I have all of these phenomenal testimonials about the trio. These are 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. And I have this pile of testimonies like on my Instagram page. At the very top, there's a pink highlight bubble. Go through them. Oh, there's a little bug. Go through them and get your hopes up that you too can begin that process of going from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. This is where I started over 10 years ago, you guys. And it literally helped me, this Italian girl who had type 2 and obesity all around me in my family. My dad died at 63. It helped me to avoid. So I'm just telling you my story. I'm not making any claims. I'm just telling you where my story is. So y'all have given me your data, and that data is worth a lot. Okay. So I have those testimonies, but there's a new gut primer that just launched yesterday, and I've been waiting for 2 months for that to launch, because gut health is directly connected to insulin resistance, because insulin resistance messes up your gut. And then that messes up a whole slew of things. So yesterday, if you go back on the replay, we talked about, if you are chronically constipated, if you have IBS, IBD, SIBO, those types of things, and you need to get your gut in alignment right now. For just a moment, what I'm doing is, anybody who wants to grab the gut primer, I am doing a $10 Amazon card to cover your shipping. And if you're really sneaky, you can go ahead and get up over the free shipping anyway. Some of you are doing that anyway. And then you're still getting the Amazon card because you're like double dipping. And I approve of double dipping. And then I will, for anybody who is willing to be, good morning, Magda, happy Thursday. Anybody who is willing to be very consistent, you will commit yourself to 30 days of taking the gut primer and filling out a survey. I'll give you another $10 gift certificate, because I want your testimonials. I want your data. Okay. So just letting you know that that's housekeeping. And then today we're going to talk about Kristen. Good morning. Oh, you're so sweet. I missed you guys too. I missed all of your, here, I'll do hearts on Instagram. There we go. Missed all of your interaction and everything, but I was definitely having a little bit of fun in Dallas, Texas, this Minnesota girl. And it was so hot down there. And I loved it. I live in Minnesota. So, and I came back and it feels like fall. And I know people like fall. I get it. I like fall too. In October, I like fall, like a lot. But it's August. Where's the 90-degree weather? I think it's coming for half a minute, but it just never lasts long enough. It's okay. It's okay. We just like that warm weather. Texas felt like, whoo, that's intense heat, closer to the equator down there or something, right? But I wanted to talk to you today about brain fog. And the reason why is because this is literally where I started. Brain fog was my first conversation. Kristen, thank you for all the likes. I appreciate you so much. That gets this amazing information out to the FYP, and I appreciate it. But I don't know that people recognize brain fog as being one of the major symptoms of insulin resistance. So I always talk about how I'm very convinced that women are sliding into their 40s, because this is my story, was my story. You're sliding into your 40s, you're insulin resistant, and you don't know it. And you do not know that insulin is a hormone, and that because of that one hormone getting high in your body, it's literally domino affecting like all of your other hormones. And it's making a mess out of all of them. And in the meantime, what's happening is brain fog is settling in. And if you are like me, and I don't know that if you've experienced this or not, but I really did wonder what was wrong with me. And I would say that to my husband all the time. What's wrong with me? This brain fog, this inability to multitask, is this just what it's like to get old? Is this, whatever, fill in the blank. And he would constantly say to me, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Because he was just being a good guy, right? Because he is. But I'll tell you, it makes you feel very vulnerable. And especially if you are in the workplace, if you are out in the workplace, you can feel very like maybe you don't want people to know that you're having a hard time multitasking. And that's just a real feeling, especially when you're in your 40s. And a lot of your coworkers, this was actually my situation. My coworkers were in their 20s. A lot of them were, or very early 30s. So you're kind of like, that's kind of how you're feeling. So you're taking the glucose. Can you take 2 capsules instead of 1? My blood glucose readings are averaging about 10 to 15 higher. In my opinion, Cheryl, it is better to take all 3 of them spread out throughout the whole day. I don't know that I would. Personally, I don't think it's going to hurt you. You can test it for yourself and see, but I also don't know if it's going to help you. Like, I don't know if I would test it. If you're a good tester, if you're like testing your blood, do that and then let me know. Yeah. I don't feel like that's going to hurt you, because those are trace minerals and herbs, and that's what's helping. It's that deficiency that's really bringing down sugars and insulin and helping with like cravings and stuff like that. So it's not going to. I'm sure that I've actually made the mistake before of taking 2. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to hurt. Because when I have you all know my story. This is my brain. This is how I do my supplements. They're all in one case. I can't do pill boxes, you guys. I just don't like them. My brain rejects the compartmentalization or something. So I'm sure that there have been times that I've accidentally mixed up my digestive enzyme with my glucose health, and I've taken 2 of them. So anyway, yeah. Let me know, Cheryl. I would love to know. Any of those types of testimonies are super helpful. But for anybody who is taking the glucose product, with the trio, the whole idea is to really spread that out throughout the day. And I know there are some people who are like, but I'm not eating on that 3rd one. Like maybe I only have 2 meals a day, or maybe I only have 1 meal a day. That's not the point. Is to get those trace minerals into your body throughout the day, so that you are doing this over the length of the day. Yeah. So anyway, so in brain fog land, and And that whole feeling of wondering, like, is this just am I just getting older, whatever? Sometimes, and I'm going to just go through some information here to help you understand why there's a connection with insulin resistance. I want you to walk away thinking, oh, okay, I'm not crazy, but then also, oh, there are answers for this. Okay. And I talk about the purple packet a lot. This is something that I take twice a day it's adaptogenic herbs and B vitamins. But I have had somebody literally say to me, OMG, I thought I was getting dementia, because she didn't understand how to just mitigate some of the brain fog conversation. Okay. And adaptogenic herbs are very wonderful for that. But anyway, let's talk about this in terms of insulin resistance and why. Like, why is this causing this? And why do we not really know about this? Like, why is this not, Kristen, you're just amazing. Thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate it. Why is this not a conversation? Like, these are simple things. And this is why I come on here and I talk about this all the time, because it's like, what if there are simple understandings? And then what if there are simple answers? God, why are we making this so hard when this is not a terminal diagnosis? It just torques me off. Okay. Insulin resistance can significantly impact brain health, leading to symptoms like brain fog, which includes issues with memory, focus, and mental clarity. Here's how it works and what you can do about it. So glucose utilization, this is number one. The brain relies on glucose as a primary energy source. Insulin resistance can hinder glucose from entering the brain cells efficiently, leading to energy deficits that manifest as brain fog. Okay, and I'm going to kind of come back to that in just a second. Number two, inflammation. Insulin resistance often goes hand in hand with chronic inflammation, which can affect the brain. Elevated levels of inflammatory markers can disrupt neural communication and cognitive function. Number three, hormonal balance. Insulin resistance can also lead to hormonal imbalances, particularly with insulin and cortisol. Those sister hormones, remember we talk about that, and especially in regards to belly fat, insulin and cortisol, which can affect neurotransmitter function, further contributing to brain fog. Number four, blood-brain barrier. Insulin resistance can impair the blood-brain barrier, making it easier for harmful substances to enter the brain, leading to inflammation and oxidative stress. So that's four things as to why insulin resistance is causing brain fog. And the whole brain piece of this, I was very much pushed to internally, personally, to really look at this connection because of, so my dad, insulin dependent type 2, goes down the route of scripts pretty much only, and ends up dying at 63 after a decade long of declining health function, heart procedures, heart surgeries, kidney dialysis, pacemaker, feeling like just crapola, lazy Susan full of meds. They're all fighting with each other to try to work. Like, it was the typical American conversation about how we're just going to throw scripts at everything. It was just ridiculous. But he literally wasn't safe to drive until like noon every day because he had so much conflict going on in his body. Then he dies. He's 63. My mom is 65. She hits retirement and bam, husband gone. All because of insulin resistance that led to type 2 diabetes and insulin dependence. Good morning, Brenda. Good to see you. Tragic. Why? This wasn't terminal. He didn't need a team of oncologists to help him. Tragic. Okay. He was eating the recommended diet of Cheerios and skim milk, which is horrific for your sugars. Okay. So he's doing all of this, right? So my mom's 65, he's gone. She goes on and she lives her life. She ends up having renal cancer, and she has one kidney removed, and they tell her protein bad. And she went, oh, okay, because they're saying that high protein is affecting the protein levels anyway. That's another conversation. And so she became a carboholic. So my mom, who was 100% Swedish, had no type 2 in her family, becomes type 2 because overconsumption of carbohydrates over a long period of time leads us to insulin resistance. She then develops dementia. So this is why I want to go back to this brain conversation, because this is so important. I know that I wasn't willing to make changes because I wanted to be a healthier person. I was willing to make changes because my mom wouldn't leave me alone. And eventually I wanted to be able to lose weight. Not that I understood at the time that high insulin and high sugars kept you from losing weight. I did not understand that connection, but that is true. So why can't you lose weight? Why are you on a hamster wheel? Why is nothing working for you that used to work for you? It might be because you're insulin resistant. If you're on my content, you're probably insulin resistant, which leads to PCOS and gout. And there's a connection with fatty liver and type 2 and dementia. So before we go here, you are insulin resistant in your cells. Okay. Your body, your pancreas is releasing insulin, gobbling up the glucose because your food is turning into glucose. You don't even have to eat a Snicker bar for it to turn into glucose. Your body wants glucose. It's like a Pac-Man. It takes the glucose and shuttles it into your cell. But when your cell is like stuffed, like a turkey, it says no more. Okay. So then you end up with higher insulin, higher inflammation, and pretty soon it can't handle this anymore, taking the glucose. So your blood sugars finally go up. So you can be insulin resistant for decades before you ever even know you have blood sugar issues because it hasn't shown up yet. So ask for a fasting insulin test that will tell you about insulin resistance, or you don't even need a test. You can just know these things. I mean, these are just normal symptoms. So you don't have to. I never got tested for insulin, but now today we're test happy, right? So point being that when you are then, it can be for a long, long time before, sorry, you're late. Linda, you're right on time, girlfriend. You're just fine. You're so funny. You're totally fine. So basically then over time, as your cells are saying no more, all of that extra glucose is getting stored as fat. Your inflammation is increasing like all over the freaking place, and everything else is getting affected. This is why when people are taking the trio, the 3 supplements that help with insulin sensitivity, the testimonies that you give me are, my sugars are coming down, my weight is coming off, I'm off 2 BP meds, things like that. Like I have many, many testimonies of many different things. Okay. Because insulin resistance is the core. It's the very foundation. It's like, I have to, because on Facebook, you can't see me. So if you have a foundation here, it's like right here, it's the post. Insulin resistance is the post. And then everything else flutters off of that. So people are like, why am I being put on MET for my type 2? Then they're also putting me on a BP med because they go hand in hand. One goes up, the next thing starts to trigger. Then they'll tell you to go on an STATIN, and STATIN takes down cholesterol, and your hormones need cholesterol. So then you end up on an anti-sadness. Okay. So this is the cluster that they are going to put you on as a protocol, and especially right around in your 50s. This is very normal. And so that's kind of where that goes with that. Well, once we start talking about then the brain, let's go there, right? Because maybe first at the beginning of insulin resistance, we've got belly fat. Dang, my belly. I've got this, or for men, you can really see, right? They get a big belly and it's hard because that's what happens with men, right? So they got this big belly and they're wearing their jeans underneath their belly or whatever, right? That is definitely like a very number 1 red flag sign for insulin resistance, right? That belly equals, in my opinion, as a not doctor person and an Italian girl, that's totally insulin resistance, right? So at first we start out here with our belly and we're like, oh, that's just stinky, right? Like frustrating. I had to go up a size in my jeans. Okay. But then eventually it leads to, oh, wow, now I'm having a hard time keeping my BP down. Oh, wow. Now I'm having a hard time. Like now I'm going in and getting more tests. They're still not testing for insulin. Usually they're only testing for your glucose. So they're telling you, you're fine. You're fine. Your labs are fine. You're fine. Oh no. Oh, look at there. You're pre-type 2. That's kind of how this goes because they're not doing a fasting insulin. Anyway, most of the time, I shouldn't be so blanketed and general. That's not fair. So oftentimes. So then what happens then is that you just get put on this whole suite of meds. And over time, however, like my mama, type 3 diabetes, insulin resistance of the brain. Now, let me go back and tell you, the brain relies on glucose as a primary energy source. Insulin resistance can hinder glucose from entering brain cells efficiently, leading to energy deficits that manifest as brain fog. Hold on. The inflammation, it disrupts, remember now, high insulin, high inflammation, because it's going up. It can't actually get the insulin into the cell. So it's like in your body, it's in your blood, it's in your, it's going up, because your cell is like Fort Knox, man. We're closed. You cannot get in. Do not enter. So inflammation is rising and it can affect the brain. Elevated levels of inflammatory markers can disrupt neural communication and cognitive function. Then the blood-brain barrier. Insulin resistance can impair the blood-brain barrier, making it easier for harmful substances to enter your brain, leading to inflammation and oxidative stress. Okay, so that's how this is all happening. And then you are maybe having issues like, I used to be able to multitask. Like, what is up? Why can't I multitask? Numbers used to come easily to me. I used to be able to remember people's phone numbers or addresses, or like these things were super, like I was a whiz at, math, whatever, in college or anything. But you're noticing how simple things, not dementia things, but simple things like, you used to be able to like remember your grocery list easier, or somebody gave you information or whatever, and you're just like, oh, that's frustrating. This must be just what it's like to get old. Things aren't firing right, blah, blah, blah. And this is what we think, right? This is just normal. But it can be very frustrating. And sometimes you can feel very vulnerable, like you're at a job and you're like, I'm in my 50s and I don't want people to know, right? Because that's a real thing. So let's reverse engineer this. What if we bring back the insulin resistance? What if we bring back the issues that we're having? We get to the core of the foundation and we deal with the core, and we can restore back mental clarity, okay? And we can actually then even take it a step further and every day wake up and do something good for our brain fog and get back on track. This is what's happening to you now? Yeah. How old are you? I'd love to know. I would love to know how old you are. Yep. This was just this comes from my very authentic place of my own story. This is, I know this very well. This was my life. 64. Yep. And I'm 59 now. And so this for me started heavily in my 40s. I started younger, and probably because I was at a job that required a high level of multitasking. So I probably noticed it more. So again, if you're on my content, you're probably connected to a thought process of insulin resistance. So what can you do about it? Okay. Well, the first thing, we're talking about food, and remember, so the Facebook group is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Every month we do a 5-day challenge. The next one is starting this coming Monday. And we'll go through ingredient trade outs. And as an Italian person, this is what I needed to do. So ingredient trade outs, my pantry, my fridge, we'll do a recipe, we'll do the things, right? So I talk a lot about food in the group, okay? So some of the food that you can incorporate into your life and think about is, number one, healthy fats. We have to get the healthy fats. The worst thing that we ever did, in my opinion, is go low fat. Really, really stupid, really dumb, really criminal, driven by bad science, by bad studies, really bad. I actually walked into a memory care unit as I was taking care of my mom, and we were kind of just looking at different places. And there were so many women in the circle, and there was only one guy. And I asked the nurses, I go, why women? And without skipping a beat, now this is not a scientific answer at all. This was just their thought process. They go, oh, it was totally the low-fat diet in the 90s. Okay, so this is very, very detrimental. We have been given very detrimental information. We have to take back our bodies. We have to become our own advocates. We have to stop listening to their bad advice that we should be eating seed oils. This is ridiculous. They are very inflammatory, very harmful for our bodies, precursor to insulin resistance. And we have to stop listening to their demonization of the things that are actually really good for us. Because I'm 59 and not on any meds. My dad took the route of meds. I took the route of supplementation, shifted my train. You know, if you can you pull that lever and change the direction of the track of a train. That's what I did through natural thought process. Okay. And when it comes to food, I don't listen to any traditional advice. Because the food pyramid is criminal. It's bad. It's wrong. It's not helpful. Bang on. It's really bad. Yep. Fat is your love. Yes. You're so funny. I get that. Well, the good fats are really important, you guys. So they're so important for your brains. Okay. So avocados, nuts, seed, fatty fish, and I'm going to add in beef. Did you know that beef is actually, it has almost the identical amino profile as your human muscle does? Do you think there's a mistake in this? There's not. And if you want to have if you want to deep dive into, you don't even have to deep dive, it would be short. If you want to check out just some resources, check out somebody like Dr. Ken Berry, Berry, on YouTube. Because if we believe that cholesterol is what's causing heart disease, then we will stop eating things like red meat because we'll be afraid of cholesterol. But wait a second, cholesterol is made by your liver as the firefighters for what's going on inside of your arteries. So what's up? What's up, Buttercup? So I'm just saying, do some research. Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Eric Berg with a C, Maria Emmerich, balloons on Instagram. So funny. Look up those things. It wouldn't even take you hardly any time at all. So that you can be making decisions that are more in line with what your body needs. Then, of course, your greens, etc. They help stabilize your blood sugar. Berries, I eat berries. It's the only fruit that I eat as an insulin-resistant person. Whole eggs, I eat a lot of eggs. I buy eggs from a local lady, praise God, because here I am in the cities, but I still have somebody who's out just about 15 minutes from me, and she does chickens, and I'll buy 10 dozen from her at a time. Eggs are insanely healthy. Do you remember the conversation, the incredible edible egg or the marketing that they did? That actually was true marketing. A lot of times we don't have very good true marketing, right? But that one was, whole eggs contain choline, a nutrient vital for brain function, particularly memory and learning. I eat eggs every day. Fermented foods. We talked about this yesterday with the gut conversation, the gut health conversation, and the gut primer that just launched. Sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir to support gut health. Just make sure that you're not eating, yogurts and things that have sugar in them, which is closely linked to brain health via the gut-brain axis. These are the supplements that support cognitive function. Some of you are already getting these from me. If you need a cart, a brain fog cart, I will put together one. I haven't created it yet, but I will. And you can put brain fog in like the Facebook comments. Instagram and TikTok, yours will go away when I'm done. So you have to like dive into my inbox. TikTok, you have to either like message me by text. My number's on my profile. If you click on my face up here, and my face comes up again, and you click on my face, it'll take you to my profile. You'll see a number. You can text me and say, hey, you were talking about that gut health cart. Will you send that to me? I'll put this together for you, because these are what they're recommending. Omega-3 fatty acids, we have to offset the omega-6s. We have to offset the seed oils. We have we have like a 10-to-1 ratio right now of seed oils to omega-3 in the American diet. Really, 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 really bad. Really bad. And it's because seed oils are everywhere. They're in every single prepackaged food practically, in every single restaurant and fast food, condiment. They're in everything. Canola oil is everywhere. And our ratio is way off. So omega-3 fatty acids, so you need your fish oil, but make sure that you get a fish oil that is wild caught. Don't get a fish oil that is farmed and that is, how do I say that? Yeah. I mean, you don't want high levels of anything when it comes to contaminants or, metals or anything like that inside of your fish. And you know what? How do I say this? I remember my mom when they first started, like in certain grocery stores, and it was kind of brand new for us to be getting a lot of fish from China. She would not buy fish from China. She was very concerned about that in the grocery stores here in the United States. And I'm just going to say that's a potential thought process, right? Like we need standards when it comes to something like that are very, very particular, because we don't want what's, like even when you're pregnant, oftentimes we know not to eat certain things to protect our pregnancy because we don't want heavy metals. We don't want, high levels of certain chemicals, etc. Let's do the same thing with our supplementation when it comes to fish oil. So omega-3 fatty acids, turmeric, curcumin, which actually turmeric is not, Instagram, you're so funny. Turmeric is actually not very absorbable into your system. But most people don't know that. But the one that I have is actually 45. This is crazy to say, 45 times more absorbable than a turmeric that you can get off the shelf. It's just the way that they did the extract in there. And so taking 400 milligrams of my line is like taking 6,000 milligrams of somebody else's. So you do the math on that. Microwave popcorn is one of the worst foods for our brain. Yes, it is, Linda. Microwave popcorn, you guys. I haven't had that. I don't even know. Maybe it's been a decade. Probably really bad. Popcorn in general is horrific for insulin resistance. Like nobody should be eating popcorn, corn syrup, partially hydrogenated corn syrup, nothing with corn. When you're insulin resistant, that just spikes your sugars too much, way, way too much. But microwave popcorn, wow. What is turmeric used for? So Cheryl, turmeric. So the active compound in turmeric, curcumin, has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that support brain health. Okay. So turmeric, people will take turmeric for anti-inflammatory. So think about the over-the-counter anti-inflammatory that you would purchase at your local MERT, the one that's IB. Think about that, right? Think about how it helps to take down inflammation. Well, I used to think that IB was like God's gift to my body, right? Like we just need to take more of that. That's really bad. Super, super, super bad for your body, period, the end. So what they did was, Cheryl, you can look it up. You can just put turmeric in the search on my website. You'll see on the bottle, they literally put for discomfort, joint discomfort, and pain. They actually put the word pain, which is highly unusual for a supplement line to do that. Highly unusual to use the P word, because they are, they're not regulated by the FDA. That's why you have to find your own line like mine that is NSF certified. So what it says on the outside of the bottle is what's on the inside. It's third-party tested, made in the USA, all of these good things, blah, blah, blah. You have to do your own research. You got to be your own advocate because it's not FDA certified. However, they are dinged by the government if they make any claims. So anyway, it says for discomfort, joint discomfort, and for pain. From regular exercise is just what they're saying. But basically what they're saying is, let's bring down your inflammation, because high insulin leads to high inflammation in your body. And you got to get it down. You got to get it down. And a lot of times that is a part of being able to lose weight better. It's a part of being able to, the thing that I love the most about this particular turmeric, and then I'll move on here, is actually that they put in fenugreek. And fenugreek is just another beautiful ingredient that actually helps with sugars. So, I mean, yeah. So, okay, Cheryl, I can do that. Yes, I have D3 with K2 also, pill. It's a pill, not a capsule. Very little. I take one every day. And I'm going to tell you about the D3. You guys, stop buying synthetic D. Will you please stop buying synthetic D? So it's just tiny, Cheryl. It's just tiny. I take this every day. This is the value of this is 2,000 IUs or 50 micromilligrams. Okay. It's fat soluble. Just FYI, is a little side note, little free tip there for you. Just kidding. As I snort like my mother. Fat soluble. So take your D with like with a meal, with food. Okay. To get some fat in you and take your D. This is sourced from mushrooms, you guys. Not synthetic, from mushrooms. And it's literally like 30 cents a day. This is ridiculous. But people don't know. They just don't know that they can get such high quality for such competitive price. They just don't know. That's what that is. So yes, I have D3 and K2 also. Yes. So the cart would be the omega-3, the fish, the turmeric, and then a B complex vitamin. So I want to talk about this. I don't know what to do with this testimony yet, you guys, because this is crazy. So let me do this first. Particularly B6, B9, and B12, which are essential for brain function and can help combat brain fog. So inside of it does, I won't go there yet. I have a dual complex. I have a dual B vitamin. It's all 8 of your B vitamins time released, all 8 time released. I don't think that I don't think I have any competition in the marketplace on that. Because you get certain B vitamins right away, and then you get certain B vitamins over the next 8 hours so that you have the sustained energy. Okay. B vitamins are very important. Women do not understand that when you're deficient in certain B vitamins, you can have anxiety and depression. Okay. So I was just on a Zoom with her last night. A new friend of mine now, new customer, she's actually connected with me in business now. She gave her mom the dual action B vitamins, and her mom says to her, "This has helped my hearing." She goes, "Mom, you're crazy. Just stop it." She goes, "I am telling you, I was in church on Sunday morning and I could hear like I have not heard before." So she's like, "That's not true, Mom. Like these are just B vitamins." So she eventually researches it. And I'm trying to think if she said B6 and B12. I think is what she said. Hearing loss and tinnitus, is that what it's called? Tinnitus can be a result of a deficiency in certain B vitamins. So her mom is still not wearing her hearing aid because her hearing has improved. Now, I am not making a claim. And this is why I say I don't even know what to do with this testimony yet, because that's a little crazy. I had not heard this one before. So I love that you guys give me your testimonies, but isn't that interesting? So the cart would have in it fish, wild caught fish, turmeric, and the B vitamins, all 8 of them time release. That would be in the cart. Now, if you want to really deal with your brain fog a little more efficiently, you can get the purple. You can ask me for the purple packet. This has in it This actually has 3 things in it. It has adaptogenic herbs. This is but it has the B vitamin in it. Okay, so it has that. You can see it's a light green and a dark green. That's because it's immediate release and then left like over time release. That's why that is. But it has these adaptogenic herbs. One is for memory and one is for, which has 2 herbs in it. And then one is, oh, Facebook can't see what I'm doing. And then the other one is another adaptogenic herb. And this is what adaptogenic herbs do. They help your body adapt to stress. And that means that they come in and they support your adrenals. Your adrenals regulate your hormones. When I was in my 40s and I was having such a hard time with brain fog, there we go. This one out of the 3, this is the one that somebody handed me. We were new to business and she handed me this and she said, try this because it's going to make you, it won't give you energy, jittery energy, but it will make you kind of like wake up like this. And I'm like, okay, I'll totally do that. And I was working in a medical clinic at the time and I needed to multitask at a higher level. And because I had a doctor that was just a real jerk. I mean, he was a case. And I was very nervous the night before. He would come in 1 day a week. And so I would take 2 of these and, right at the beginning of my shift. And I was like, oh my stars, I can multitask. Like that was the beginning of my journey. Then what happened was they took this and they packaged it in 3 of them and they put them in this purple packet. And that's now, if anybody wants to be able to take something occasionally for energy and mental clarity, this is the blend. And this is, you can ask me for the purple packet and I'll send you that. I'll send you what that is. Okay. Over time, because I became so, addiction has a really negative connotation. So maybe I wasn't addicted because that's a bad, whatever we think of that in bad terms, but I was very consistent in taking, like I was very consistent because all of a sudden I didn't feel so vulnerable anymore. I didn't feel like so concerned about my inability to multitask. When you have brain fog, you're just kind of like, wake up. Like, what is going on? And I didn't want that as I was trying to perform tasks in a job. So I became extremely consistent. And what I didn't understand was that these adaptogenic herbs over time were like seriously supporting my adrenals. And there was a memory in my brain, right? Somebody had told me, she was a naturopath, and she said, Kirsten, the way you go through menopause is the way that you treat your adrenals. I didn't know what an adrenal was. I had no idea the connection. I was very disconnected from my body. I didn't get good grades in science. Like none of this rang true with, I didn't know any of this. And so when I understood how they were helping me with my adrenals, that's when I ended up over time realizing that they actually were helping me to balance my hormones. I went on to never have a hot flash. I sailed through menopause and I'm now 59. And I never did HRT. And I understand that's just my story, but I'm telling you, I am fully convinced that God gave us answers in herbs and in things that we can fill some of our deficiencies. And these answers can be much more simple. I think that sometimes we are a wreck for a lot of reasons. We have a lot of toxins going on. We have a lot of like over long periods of time, bad food choices, processed food, chemicals, seed oils, over-the-counter meds, scripts left and right. Like we're told we should have 3 in our 50s. I mean, we have a lot going on. I get it. And so it's not just one answer for everybody. And that's for sure. That's why I always know that I am the person in between. I'm in between the GNC kid that doesn't know what hormones are because in his 20s and the naturopath who obviously has a lot more education than I do, no question. but sometimes people don't want to be able to, or don't have the means to pay cash out of pocket, or maybe they're just not as messed up. Like maybe I just wasn't as messed up and it was easy for me to do supplementation. And that might be you too. Like, yeah, I don't have major conditions going on where I need a, deeper understanding and knowledge. And you're just the average woman going through average symptoms. That's where I can step in and help people. Cause I can literally so Cheryl, Brenda says cart, please. I will do that. Instead of pain medication, try white willow bark and valerian root tea, natural pain meds. That's really cool. My sleep product has valerian in it and it's so beneficial. That's very interesting, Matt. Thank you for saying that. The purple packet, Boss Lady, Ultra Focus. If you will search on my website, Ultra Focus, you will find it. You will find it. And there are 20 packets in a box. And some people just want to take it for here and there. They just want on the days that they need more mental clarity because maybe you have a job or whatever it is, or maybe one day is just worse than the next. Some people actually take it, like I ended up taking it more consistently because of hormone. You're welcome. Because of hormone, wanting to get those hormones regulated, because your adrenals, they sit on top of your kidneys like this, and they regulate your hormones. And when your ovaries simmer down and they stop doing what they're supposed to do, your adrenals take over. But we have high adrenal fatigue, which, we have high cortisol issues and adrenal fatigue. We've just been hard on our adrenals for a very long period of time. And so a lot of us know that our belly fat is not just insulin, but it's insulin and cortisol just run amok. And we've got to get it down. And so that's why even when I talk to people about the trio, these three that help with insulin sensitivity, one of them is for your liver. And what you may not know is that your liver actually helps when your liver is functioning well, it will dump excess cortisol. So getting your engine, this is like opening up the hood of your car and getting to your engine. Okay. And when you can get to your engine, when you can get to your base, and I talked about that a little bit yesterday with the gut primer that launched just yesterday. It's I'm obviously going to be testing it for sure. And anybody else that wants to grab it and test it, I will do a $10 Amazon gift card to offset your shipping. Just let me know if that's something you're interested in. I'll tell you what I'm doing for that. But getting inside of your engine where it has a prebiotic and it has fermented greens and it has a postbiotic. And then it also has antioxidant, anti-inflammatory herbs in it. And it's just this whole mixture. It's a powder that you put in water, but you're getting inside of the issue. And that's what we have to be able to do. We have to be able to get up and under things instead of putting Band-Aids all the time. And oftentimes that happens with scripts, right? Where we are given a script to match a symptom. Oh, we have this symptom. Here's a script. Here's a script. Here's a script. And pretty soon then those are creating other side issues. And that's very frustrating to us, right? Because I feel like I have a fuzz or something, because we don't like the side effects of the scripts. We're frustrated by that, right? It's very, very challenging. And I can see I'm missing, I can see that I'm missing comments on Facebook. So I apologize. When I get off, it's StreamYard. And so sometimes I just don't see everything. But when I get off, I go through my messages and I see what people are saying and I will answer your questions and everything. So you just let me know. But anyway, I just am a very huge proponent because this is how my life went. I feel like God gave me answers way before I was ready to understand why the answers were ever going to help me. But then my result is because I dealt with my insulin resistance, not knowing, not understanding the trio and how that was helping me. Now I do. Now I've done a masterclass. I've done a masterclass on these three products because of what they have done to help me go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. And when you can get your insulin and your sugars down, you can finally lose weight. And I've gone from a 2X down to a large in my 50s after my cycle stopped, which is a really big deal. Okay. But then also too, the other half of my puzzle that I didn't understand, that was definitely adaptogenic herbs. I had no idea. I'm like, sure, I'll take that because, I might have done things that were not very legal in my high school days. Just saying. So I was never scared of things, apparently. And I also really just thought that ibuprofen, and there was that Metabolife weight loss med supplement that you could get at like Walmart. That was in my 30s. I obviously wasn't scared to take things. So I'm like, sure, I'll take that for my brain fog. Like I didn't know, I didn't care. I wasn't assessing it. I wasn't the person going, well, show me the ingredients. That wasn't me. I was like, OMG, it freaking works. Yes, please. That was me. Right. And then as God gave me these answers, I then reverse engineered, why did that work? And that's where this began for me. Why did my dad take all those meds and he died and he had a super low functioning life? I did this and now I'm 59. I've lost 3 sizes. I'm not on any meds. I live with, mental clarity and energy and, and yes, in the middle, I changed out my food. That's the Facebook group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And we do a challenge in there every month. The next one starts on Monday, August the 12th, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, every day, Monday through Friday. Okay. So just to let you know, like this is our 15th challenge. Learn some ingredient trade outs, get some nuggets of tools in your toolbox. Get a visual on my pantry and my fridge so that you can just see. I mean, come on, like I was the ultimate white flour, white sugar, white pasta, like that. I was the poster child for the standard American diet. But now I've completely shifted it all. And so like this last week, we took a business trip down to Dallas and I just know how to eat. I get there. I don't have swollen ankles like I used to. I don't have brain fog off the charts like I used to. I don't wake up and feel like I've been hit by a semi truck like I used to. I don't lose sleep like I used to. I'm a very regulated person now, but I've had to learn my own specific thought process because I don't want to just take anything. I want things to be targeted for me. And I want the same thing for you. The trio. So if you literally, my face is right here. If you click on my face on TikTok and you come down, it'll pop up again right here as a banner. Click on my face again. There's a number right there on my profile. And you can text me and say, hey, I was on your live. Will you send me a cart with the trio in it? There are 3 separate supplements in there. There is my page also there that you can look at, and there's button number 2. You can just do that too if you want to. Let's see if I missed anything. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I'm good. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. Good day. Happy Thursday. Very good. So anyway, that's really kind of like my little conversation on brain fog. It really was the beginning of my whole journey. And I'll tell you, when you can finally deal with your brain fog, I feel like one of the biggest benefits for all of us who are insulin resistant is we actually have enough wherewithal, we have enough bandwidth to finally change out an ingredient, to finally consider a different recipe. Because if we have brain fog and our brains are just tired all the time, we're less likely to take action. We're like, maybe tomorrow, because our brains are kind of tired and we're just not thinking clearly. So I feel like talking about brain fog is one of the biggest pieces. Well, I feel like that way about a couple things, but the gut is one of them. But with brain fog, it's a big deal. You have to be able to think clearly enough in order to keep your how do I say this? Keep your routines and your disciplines. I always tell you guys, this is easy. This is easy. Doing a supplement routine, you guys, for as lack of discipline of a person as I was, like very, I still was able to figure out how to have a daily supplement routine. And it took me a while, right? Just like everything else does. But eventually I was like, oh, well, I don't want to miss it because I love the benefits of it. I loved how I felt. This is what's harder. It's our own mental capacity, whether it's brain fog or whether it's negative thoughts in our head. And those are the harder pieces for us to change because we have tracks that even come from our childhood. So that's the part of the journey that I like to talk to women about the most, like in the group. And in fact, I'm going to start a book series in the group called Self-Sabotage No More. It's a book. And the author is Jenny Potter. So the group is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. You can get in there. The challenges are free. Check out guide number 4. Get the testimonies of the trio. Don't take my word for it. Guide 4 will tell you all about it's a handful of the testimonies. Or go to Instagram, and there's a pink highlight bubble at the top of Instagram. Go read those testimonies and get your hopes up. Don't listen to just me. I'm just one person, but you guys have given me your data. You guys have given me your results. And this matters so much. It is so imperative that we turn back so that we don't go down this terrible negative path that can lead to detrimental health issues. Anything from gout to fatty liver to heart disease to dementia. Like, let's not go down that path, right? My mom's mom did not have dementia. She played Scrabble till she was 97. So I've thought a lot of these connections and these pieces. These, they want to tell us that things are genetic and make us think that this is a genetic conversation. I'm over that. I'm so over that. Are there dispositions? Sure. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, all right. If you need anything today, let me know. Okay. I'm back in Minnesota, and you can always message me on Messenger, my inbox on Instagram or TikTok. You go to my profile, or you can go to, you can text me, or you can jump over to Instagram and jump into my inbox there. I don't have a Facebook group for men, Matt. I don't, but I could send you, it depends on what you are looking for, but I don't. I know I'm so discriminatory that way, aren't I? But I feel like that was on my heart, obviously, for women, just because it's so directly connected to hormonal issues, because insulin is a hormone, but it is for men too, right? But if you're looking for really good research, Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Eric Berg, and Maria and Craig Emmerich have very good cookbooks and lots of, like, thousands of free recipes. And she's a very creative person when it comes to trading out ingredients. So she's very, very good. So, but don't hesitate to reach out. Don't sabotage yourself. That's why I'm going to do the book review, because we sabotage. We know we're supposed to reach out. I had somebody say to me 3 weeks ago, now it is, I've been watching you for a year and I just ordered the trio. So this is what we do, right? Like, maybe the timing isn't right, but sometimes we just put things off because we're sabotaging too. Not always, but sometimes. So don't sabotage. Say no. Today, if I'm feeling tugged on or pulled to go look at those testimonies, I'm actually going to do it. You're welcome, Matt. If I'm going to, if I'm going to do any of the research and you're in the group, there's the masterclass in the featured section. And that's what I did on the trio back in December. Go take the time for yourself to get knowledgeable. And if it's not for you, perfect. That's fine. I'm not for everybody. People scroll past me every single day. No problem, right? But what if it is something that you want to consider? 6-month guarantee on all the products. it's pretty much like no risk. Just saying. Just saying. So, all right. Have a super blessed day, you guys. Thanks for joining. And do something for yourself today that's super positive, okay? And I'll see you back tomorrow, Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. See you later.